Subscribe to Chug Chow wherever you get your podcasts or visit chugandchow.com.
Welcome, foodie adventurers, cocktail connoisseurs, road trip romantics. This is another deliciously unruly episode of the Chug Chow podcast. I'm Todd Newton. This is where we tear up the tourist maps and we hunt for America's wildest, weirdest, and most mouth-watering hideaways. This podcast, and we hope you will become a subscriber of the podcast, stems from the pages of my book, Chug Chow, the Tattooed Traveler's 50 Favorite Dive Bars and Food Joints Across America. It's where it all began, a pilgrimage into gritty grill joints, dusty dive bars, and eating secrets wrapped in neon and nostalgia. And we're not just here for the food, we're here for the stories, the laughs, the characters scrawled into the margins of American culinary folklore. And on this episode, we're slipping off the interstate, steering past the sunburned crowds of Key West, and dropping anchor in one of Florida's best-kept secrets, Big Pine Key. That's right. I'm taking you to the No Name Pub. I'd love for you now to imagine a place where time itself seems to simmer. The air is sweet with salt and pine, the roads winding past mangroves, overhead power lines, and the slow-motion scuttle of key deer, tiny and elusive as the legends that blanket this island. Big Pine Key is as much heart as it is haze, a pulsing speck on the overseas highway, wedged defiantly between Marathon, Florida, and the wilder southern edges of the archipelago. Long before tiki drinks and Instagram sunsets, this chunk of coral rock was a bootlegger's playground, a fisherman's promised land, and a backdoor to runaway adventure. Big Pine Key sits just a splash away from Bahia Honda, a stretch famed for its powdery beaches and the crumbling railroad bridge that once ferried dreamers to the southernmost point. This island is home to the endangered key deer, the smallest wild deer in North America, whose fragile presence feels like an ecological miracle each time they step onto a moonlit road. This is a place where hurricanes have rewritten the horizon more times than anyone cares to count, where stories of pirates and smugglers are as thick as the humid midnight air. In the 1930s and 40s, legends say whiskey came ashore in hidden crates, fueling both celebration and rebellion. The original railroad, once destined to knit the keys together, was battered by storms and ghosts of ambition, yet its remnants still arch across the landscape as silent witness to a wilder time. So it's only fitting that today, you and I park ourselves at the epicenter of Big Pine flavor, the iconic No Name Pub. Now picture this, a building that first threw open its doors in 1931, a bygone grocery store turned bait and tackle shop, once rumored to be a bordello, and eventually a pub for locals and wanderers alike. The walls are lined shoulder to shoulder with dollar bills, sticky with stories and secrets, each one a tribute to all who've laughed, swapped tales, and swigged a cold beer at its battered bar. The No Name Pub's colorful past includes whispers of rum running, fishermen who bartered both catch and camaraderie, and a menu so storied you could write a novel between the layers of its infamous pizza or the crunch of its sea-salted fries. Today, the pub remains a magnet for misfits and connoisseurs, a place where tourists find themselves elbow deep in local lore, and locals remember the days when Big Pine Key felt like Florida's last front porch. Man, if these walls could talk, they'd likely shout. And between the roaring laughter and clinking mugs, you'll find the real soul of the Keys. Generous, irreverent, and permanently sun-drenched. And talking about spirit, in just a moment, we're going to be joined by a local legend, Brea, the general manager and unofficial guardian of No Name Pub's traditions, stories, and secret recipes. We're catching her right at that magical moment of a shift change there, a time when the sun slants golden through the windows. The last echoes of the day drinkers drift away on the salt breeze as they amble back to their motels or bobbing boats. And the sunset seekers begin to trickle in. It's a fleeting crossroads, really, when the day's tall tales settle like foam on a beer, and anticipation for another night's mischief bubbles up with every swing of the door. Now, Brea has witnessed it all, the hush and hustle, the regulars swapping bar stools for moonlit piers, and the first glimmer of twilight folks as they file in, chasing the kind of sunset that only a place like Big Pine Key can deliver. Brea, I know there's a lot going on there right now. Thank you for taking time to chat with us here on Chug Chow. Take us behind the bar. What's happening at No Name Pub right now?
It's always busy, but hey, everyone has a great time. It's the Keys. I mean, it's the Keys life. Very slow. You take it at day at a time.
The Keys have always been my happy place. You can't put it into words how magical of a place the Florida Keys are, right?
You have to experience. Yeah, you have to experience it for yourself.
I couldn't agree more. Brea, you are the queen of one of the most legendary watering holes in America, certainly one of the most legendary watering holes in the Florida Keys. Take me a little deeper into the history of the No Name Pub.
Yeah, I mean, it was built in 1931, and then it became, the No Name Pub in 1936. It was a tackle shop. It was also a general store, so everyone came here to get what they needed. This was actually the original US 1, so people would take the ferry, and this would be your first spot, kind of, and then you would come here, grab something, whatever you needed, fish supplies, something to eat, and then you would make yourself go down to, Key West or whatever islands that you were trying to, hop onto. But this is like the very kind of like the first spot, I call it the country of the Keys, because we're back here. It was a dirt path, no lights, nothing. Just you would have to find us.
And thus the slogan on all of your T-shirts, right? No Name Pub, you found us.
Exactly. You have to find us.
Now, I appreciate that you gave us the PG version of the history of the bar, but in addition to the bait and tackle shop and the pub and the general store and everything, correct me if I'm wrong, Brea, but wasn't No Name Pub at one point a brothel, a pretty rough and tumble, hot and heavy brothel, right?
Yes. Yep, it was a brothel back then. 1940s all the way up to 1950, so it didn't last very long, but I heard it was some good times back then. And also in the 70s and 80s, those were some rocking times too.
Oh, can you imagine? Something. I'm always fascinated, Brea, with the stories of how people end up in the Keys. I've been going to the Keys since, the 90s, I guess. They mean something different to me now at this stage of my life than they ever have before. It's the people, it's the weather, it's the vibe, it's the food, it's the music, it's the sense of community. There's so much. You couldn't get me out of the Keys. The Keys will always be a part of my life. What drew you to Big Pine Key and more specifically to the No Name Pub?
Well, it's kind of funny. I literally had to pack up within a week because my wife got a job offer down here at the Navy base and came down here, packed up everything we had, my son included, and came here. And then we were hungry one night, and we happened to live like 3 houses down. I came in, and I was like, oh, my gosh, there's so many dollar bills on the wall. I've never seen anything like it. And I was like, you know what? I kind of need a job, too. So I I signed up. I was like, hey, I have some serving experience. I have it all. What can I do? And they're like, well, you're hired. Can you work tomorrow? I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And then the next thing I know it, I become the general manager. And, I've been here for 6 years now.
And that's kind of just how things work in the Keys, right?
I heard a lot from other people, too. Like, they literally just pack up, and then they just stay here.
I'm looking at your menu. It's on your website. NoNamePub.com is the website. You've got the fried grouper, Philly cheesesteak, grilled yellowfin tuna, a meatball grinder, a grilled Cuban, a Reuben, smoked barbecue pork, chili, lobster bisque, really good burgers, but the pizza, right? It's the pizza that you guys are famous for.
We have a little bit of everything, yes, but we're known for our pizzas.
Yeah, tell me about your pizzas. What makes them famous?
Yes. Yeah, back in the 60s is actually when it was pretty much born. Two men from Italy actually came here and started their life, and they made some pizzas here. And then before they left or whatever they were doing, they left us their recipe on the wall. I don't know exactly where on the wall. I think it's kind of covered up, but we still have the recipe.
Wouldn't it be great to find the original, though, on the wall? It's probably covered by like 200 wrinkled dollar bills that are stuck to the wall. Can you tell us what the secret ingredient is or no?
Top secret now.
Copy that. I got you. Listen, it's worth it. It's worth the drive down there, and it's worth heading back on that road to find y'all to sink your teeth into that pizza. I would imagine right about now, at the time of this recording, you're probably getting ready for the sunset, yeah?
Well, it's a little rainy today, but hey, it's still beautiful here in the Keys. Regardless, cloudy, rainy, sunny, it's beautiful.
There's never a bad day to be in the Florida Keys. Brea Lesko from No Name Pub, the general manager, thank you so much for joining us on Chug and Chow, and I can't wait to swing back by and see y'all again soon next time we're down there.
Yes, of course. Please come visit us.
Always on our list. Thank you so much, Brea, and NoNamePub.com is the website. If you can't make it down to Big Pine Key, at least order yourself a T-shirt. You have to have a No Name Pub T-shirt. Thanks again, Brea. We'll talk soon.
Bye-bye. And
that will wrap it up for this salty, sunny, slightly rum-soaked journey to Big Pine Key and the legendary No Name Pub. Hey, if your heart's still bobbing like a boat at anchor and your taste buds are begging for more, make sure you subscribe to the Chug and Chow podcast so you never miss another backroads bite or dive bar detour. And if you love today's adventure, you can take the whole road trip home with you. Grab a copy of my book, Chug and Chow, on Amazon or at chugandchow.com. And here's the best part. For every copy of the book sold, we're able to provide 10 meals to families who are navigating rough waters of food insecurity. That means your next great read also becomes someone else's lifeline. So until next time, friends, keep your cooler stocked, your compass set for the unexpected, and your soul tuned to island time. I'm Todd Newton, and until we meet again a little further on down the road where every sunset is a story, and every story tastes better with a cold one in hand, you travel safely.
Chug and Chow is produced by the host with the most LLC. All rights reserved.